कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Sarasri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaicharanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Sarasri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Samaveda Gaur Bhaktivinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 2, chapter entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized. Text 56. Dukkhesh anudvigna mana sukheshu vigata spriha vitaraga bhaya krodha stitadhir muni uchyate. Dukesh anudvigna mana Sukeshu vigata spriha Vitaraga bhaya krodha Stitadir munir uchyate. Someone would like to chant? Dukeshvanudvigna mana Sukeshu vigata spriha Vitaraga bhaya krodha Stitadir muniruchyate. Dukkeshu anudvigna mana Sukeshu vigata spriha Vitaraga bhayo krodha Tade muni uchate Dukeshvamudvigna mana Sukeshu vigataspriha Vitaraga bhaya krodha Stita Dukeshvamudvigna mana Okay, please repeat. Dukeshu, in the threefold miseries. Anudvignamana, without being agitated in mind. Sukheshu, in happiness. Vigata spriha, without being interested. Vita, free from. Raga, attachment. Bhaya, fear. Krodha, and anger. Stitadi, whose mind is steady. Muni, a sage. Uchyate, is called. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is not disturbed in mind even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. Please repeat. One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. Purport. The word muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. Wow. It is said that every muni has a different angle of vision. And it is said that every muni has a different angle of vision, and unless a muni differs from other munis, he cannot be called a muni in the strict sense of the term. Na sa vrishid yasya matam na bhinnam. Mahabharata, Vana Parva 313, 117. But a stita dhir muni, as mentioned herein by the Lord, is different from an ordinary muni. The stita dhir muni is always in Krishna consciousness, for he has exhausted all his business of creative speculation. He is called Prashanta Nishesha Mano Rathantara, Stotaratna 43, or one who has surpassed the stage of mental speculations and has come to the conclusion that Lord Shri Krishna or Vasudeva is everything. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. He is called Muni. He is called a Muni fixed in mind. Such a fully Krishna conscious person is not at all disturbed by the onslaughts of the threefold miseries, for he accepts all miseries as the mercy of the Lord, thinking himself only worthy of more trouble due to his past misdeeds. And he sees that his miseries, by the grace of the Lord, are minimized to the lowest. Similarly, when he is happy, he gives credit to the Lord, thinking himself unworthy of the happiness. He realizes that it is due only to the Lord's grace that he is in such a comfortable condition and able to render better service to the Lord. And for the service of the Lord, he is always daring and active, and is not influenced by attachment or aversion. Attachment means accepting things for one's own sense gratification, and detachment is the absence of such sensual attachment. But one fixed in Krishna consciousness has neither attachment nor detachment, because his life is dedicated in the service of the Lord. Consequently, he is not at all angry even when his attempts are unsuccessful. Success or no success, a Krishna conscious person is always steady in his determination. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitan Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine. So this is chapter 2. Prabhupada said chapter 2 is more or less the whole Bhagavad Gita summarized. Everything is in this chapter. And it's a nice verse. I like the first sentence of the purport, where Prabhupada says, the word Muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. Generally when you hear the word Muni, you think like Narad Muni, some great personality. But here Prabhupada is explaining what the word Muni actually means. It means one who can agitate his mind in a variety of ways. In personal calamity, thou hast removed. Godhead is sentient, thou hast proved. In personal calamity, thou hast removed. Prabhupada wrote this as a song for his spiritual master. It's a long, there's many things that he wrote, but this sentence, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur really, really liked it.
Please, right?
Too far? Okay, is better? Yeah. Hare Krishna. So, sometimes people have an idea, like if you read such a verse, if you read, the Mayavadi understanding of it, they will say that, yeah, an advanced spiritual personality, he's not disturbed by disturbances, and he's not disturbed even by happiness. Kind of sounds a little impersonal, sounds like someone who has no, just does nothing. Yeah, no feelings. But that's not the true sense of what it means. It simply means that we're not disturbed by material distress or material happiness. But the spiritual world is full of variety. The word Muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. If you read Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there is a, Gopakumar, those of you who know, Gopakumar is going through all the planetary systems and he's seeing everything. He's seeing whatever exists. And he goes, when he reaches Goloka, something very interesting happens, is he observes that everything is constantly changing color. And everything is like it's just constantly changing. And he gets very bewildered, actually. And so Narad Muni, I think Narad Muni, yeah, Narad Muni explains to him that, don't you know that this, what you're seeing, is the nature of the jiva. The jiva's nature is to be chanchal, is to be flickering, is to be full of... Flickering means variety. It means it always changes. You'll find people, you know people, and in 4 or 5 years, generally 4 or 5 years, they change a lot, right? The way they think, the way they are, depending on where they're staying, who they're around. People can really, really change, because that's actually the nature of the jiva. This is what Narad Muni explains to Gopakumar. And he's saying that in its actual position, in its spiritual identity, what you're seeing here is when he's seeing the colors of people changing, and the way it's understood is that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And enjoyment means variety. You cannot enjoy with the same thing. Nothing is impersonal. Impersonalism is extremely boring. It's not something that the supreme enjoyer would be engaged in. He's engaged in personalism. Personalism means change, means exchange of rasa, exchange of a lot of variety. So it's very interesting that Prabhupada describes what Muni means. It means one who can agitate the mind in a variety of ways. But obviously here he's referring to those Munis that are not, Krishna conscious. He's talking about how, Munis, they have different angles of vision and they have different ideologies. To some degree, we're all kind of Munis, because we all have some conception of life, and we're all living in a certain way. We're all agitating our minds in many varieties of ways. But then, Prabhupada then explains how, it's in the verse, Stita Dhir Muni, one who is fixed. Fixed in what? We've understood that Muni means one who agitates his mind in varieties of ways. So a Stita Dhir Muni means, Prabhupada explains, he's always in Krishna consciousness. So within the realm of Krishna consciousness, he's now agitating his mind in varieties of ways and coming to no conclusion. Because you can never conclude Krishna consciousness. If you can understand something, then it means it comes to an end. But you can never understand Krishna, thankfully. So therefore it'll never come to an end. It's just a constant agitation of the mind. The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is supposed to be a constant agitation of the mind. Mantra means, in reality, the perfection of agitating your mind. The mind wants to be agitated. It does not want a peaceful Brahmajyoti experience. That is not the function of the mind. We all have a mind. We've all experienced how the mind works. It's quite crazy. And so that mind simply needs to be dovetailed. It needs to be dovetailed in getting agitated in Krishna consciousness. And there are so many varieties of ways, fortunately, because we're not impersonal, that we can agitate our minds. And when the cup is full with agitation, then there's no more room for material happiness and material distress that can agitate our minds in that way. Now we're completely absorbed in being agitated. When Krishna is present, we're happy. And when he's not present, then we're very sad. That's our actual identity. That's our actual position. We're not impersonalists. So this is, I really like, and I didn't notice it when I read this purport before, but now when I was reading the first line, it's really quite a wonderful explanation of what Muni means. Narad Muni is such a wonderful personality. Prabhupada says in one purport that Narad Muni uses the seven swaras, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. And he also says in that purport that devotees may utilize these notes to glorify the Lord, just like Narad Muni. Narad Muni simply travels. He's a traveling Sankirtan man, traveling spaceman, as Prabhupada says. He travels throughout the whole universe using sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni to chant Krishna's name, varieties of names, and he agitates his mind, and he agitates everyone else's minds too. You know, we have Daksha's sons, right? Daksha Prajapati, his son. He had 10,000 sons, and Narad Muni came, agitated all of them, you know, and took them to the platform of Krishna consciousness and told them to renounce everything. And then he had another 10,000 sons, I think, 1,000 after that. He agitated them too. So as being in the sampradaya of Narad Muni, we're transcendental agitators, Prabhupada is a perfect example of this. You see him traveling throughout the world, speaking to people the way he speaks. Sometimes he can really agitate, you know. But you know what? This is Krishna's nature, actually. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if you observe his pastimes, specifically in Vrindavan, he loves to agitate. He loves to agitate the Brajavasis. He loves to push people to the very predictable